Soybeans are a legume crop, and like any other legume, they can obtain a significant proportion of the nitrogen that they require through what's called biological nitrogen fixation, which takes place in nodules on the roots of the legume. And in those nodules, they are inhabited by rhizobium bacteria that fix nitrogen for the plant in exchange for energy for carbon from the plant. And so what we found in our research work comparing the biological nitrogen fixation, the percent nitrogen derived from the air in soybean compared to the pea and the lentil, actually the soybeans were good nitrogen fixers and obtained a significant proportion, around 70% of the nitrogen they needed from the air through biological nitrogen fixation. In order to achieve that nitrogen fixation, it's very important that the soybean receive an inoculant, could be soil applied or seed applied, and in many cases it might be double inoculated in order to ensure that there's enough rhizobium in the soil around that seed that will infect those roots and allow the establishment of that nodule to carry out the nitrogen fixation. So indeed, good inoculation practice can lead to large contribution, external input of nitrogen from the air, which is a really valuable input. The other thing relates to available nitrogen levels in the soil and adding nitrogen fertilizer to soybeans. Certainly if we add high rates of nitrogen fertilizer to any legume crop, including soybean, we will decrease the proportion of nitrogen in the plant that's derived from fixation. Because when there's lots of available nitrogen in the soil, the plant will use that nitrogen compared to sending carbon, which costs it energy, to that rhizobium in the nodule. So it's more energetically efficient for the plant if there's lots of available nitrogen in the soil to simply use it rather than allow that fixation process to be carried out. So as you add very high rates of available nitrogen, and say in the form of fertilizer, or grow your legume on a soil that's high in available land, that proportion of nitrogen derived from fixation will decrease. We have seen in some of our research work, as others, we've seen responses to starter nitrogen fertilizer that's been applied in small amounts.